Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with a little 4th of July video for you and also my 9,000 sub kind of celebratory video. No, I did not do a giveaway for it because I have a huge one come up for 10,000. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be pretty amazing. But I did say I would do an AMA. Ask me anything. I posted on our little community page. If you subscribe to this and you're looking at it on your phone, you'll see the little messages come up. It's a fun little place to interact. I announce things like Brews and Blades and stuff like that, and upcoming sales and things like that on there. So if you don't check it out there, make sure you check out the community page that YouTube provides. It is kind of a cool little service. But on there, I posted, hey guys, 9,000 subs. Ask me any damn thing you want. Not all these are going to be knife-related questions. I think at least 80% of them are. And then also, I got a few by email also when I posted that. People who didn't want to post it out in the open on there and don't want their names on it. So I will do some email ones first, and then we will go and look at some of the ones. I actually intentionally did not look at all of the ones on the community page. I clicked love on a lot of them, but I didn't read all of them because I kind of want this to be fresh and just to be my quick, honest answers. I will try not to use the reading glasses. Yes, normally when I'm doing reviews, I wear reading glasses. That's the age I'm at. I'm 44 years old. I need reading glasses sometimes. Hopefully I don't need them for this. The computer's a bit farther away than it usually is when I'm doing other stuff. So we'll see if I can read my notes or not. But first up, let's just get right into it. Again, hope you're having a good 4th of July. I'm sitting here making a video, but I love it. This is something I really love doing. So I'm having a good 4th of July. This is going to be fun. First up, this was kind of a weird question, not knife related, and it's very related to this video though. Somebody asked about the hockey stick behind me. That's whenever I do these kind of videos, asked if I play hockey. No, I don't. That is a Brian Leach autographed game used hockey stick from 1994. I probably should have it when they won the cup. It was used in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs. It probably should be in a case somewhere. But it isn't. I just have it hanging there because I pick it up and fiddle with it sometimes. But yeah, it's a Brian Leach game used autographed hockey stick from the first round of the 94 playoffs. Who it was against escapes me right now. You think I'd remember because I'm a huge Rangers fan, but I don't remember who they beat in the first round. But yeah, my ex-wife got that for me. Yeah, and this was another question that's also not knife related that I got from email. I mentioned ex-wives, plural, and somebody asked how many times I've been married. Yes, this is my 3rd marriage. I talk about it on stage. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm only 44. I've been married 3 times. First one, I was 19, and it lasted 6 months, and it was not my fault that it ended. So that one really doesn't count. And then I was married for 12 years and got 2 wonderful, amazing kids out of it. My ex-wife and I still get along really well. Everything's fine. But I made mistakes and we split up. I take full responsibility for that. But everybody still gets along. Everything's cool. And now I've been married for 6 years to my lovely wife, who I adore, and everything is great. And everything's happy as can be on that front in my life. And yeah, everything's cool. I'm going to skip ahead to a knife-related question because the first 2 weren't. Somebody asked me, Ria, we, or Best Tech? That was all the whole sentence was. Those are prominent, nice Chinese manufacturers. That's a tough one. I would say I own more Wii's than Riats, but I don't own anything that says Wii or Ria on it. I own some Civivis. I've had some Wii's. Currently, just at this particular moment, I don't own any actual Wii knives or any actual Riats, but I own a lot of stuff they make for other people. And I would just say, I don't know, I think both of those companies, I don't know, their own designs don't speak to me as much. I always liked them at first. Even the one that I kept, the one I most recently sold was actually a Ferrum Forge design that they made, the Malice. I only sold that because I'm getting another one with some special stuff done to it. So I'll have another Wii back again. Yeah, I don't know. Just their designs that they put their own names on don't speak to me that much, but both of them are outstanding OEM makers. I have 2 Riat made knives right now. I've got the Pena X Series Diesel you just saw and the Chavez, both made by Riat, and they're fantastic. I have several Wii's. I've got a Smoke, a Boost Smoke. I've got a Gent. Oh, I've got a bunch. I've got a bunch of stuff that we made, but doesn't have the we name on it. Best Tech, I think, are rocking it up there. Currently, I would put them in third, but they're every day they're getting cooler and cooler stuff. I've had a lot of their knives I have really liked a whole lot. Just don't happen to currently own any anymore, so I guess I'd have to put them in at the moment. I guess so. I have to put them in third. I'm gonna have the Best Tech malware review coming up, and it's pretty likely I'm gonna buy one of those. I really like the malware a whole lot, but again, that's a collaboration thing. So I don't know. I think just someone with the higher end Chinese stuff. I like the stuff they make in collaboration with other people more than I like the stuff they make by themselves. Another non-knife related question, what car do I drive? That actually just changed over the last, if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, Slicey Dicey 75 on Instagram. Yeah, I had to give up my beloved old dirty Subaru. I always did little pictures of whatever knife I was carrying that day in front of the steering wheel of my always filthy Subaru Outback, and I had to give it up. I took it in to get it inspected. It was going to cost $1,200 or $1,300. It just wasn't worth it. And I thought maybe the transmission was going. My mechanic insisted that my transmission was fine, but it just didn't feel right to me. And I didn't want to drop $1,300 into a car that might die in a year. So I traded it in. And my wife got a 2017 Subaru Forester. It's a wonderful car. I searched all over. We drove quite a distance to go get it. It's a great car. Got a wicked good deal. They gave me an awesome, blew my mind trade-in, so that's good. And now she has a very nice low mileage 2017 Forester. Bought it with 20,000 miles on it. I couldn't complain about that. And I wound up taking her car. So currently I am driving a 2014 Volkswagen Golf 2.5 liter, the inline 5. I've already put a mild tune on it from APR Racing. I think it's APR Flash Tune, and so now I'm getting 200 at the wheels, I think. And if I put it in sport mode, which is good, the only downside of the car is it's an automatic, but it does have a pretty good bump shifter on it. It doesn't have paddles, but it's got the little bump shifter, so it's fun around town. I'm gonna put some black. It's black. I'm gonna put black Motegis on it and make it look cool. But that's going to be my car for the next year and a half or so. And then I'm probably getting another Subaru WRX or something like that. I like Subarus. I would like to have a truck, but the resale value on them they're so high. I can't really afford a decent one. And I wouldn't ever use the bed very much at all anyway. We're going to come back to a couple more of these, because one I want to save for last because it was the most commonly asked question. So let's switch back to, these are the ones you guys asked on the community page. Sorry if my face is going off thing here. I'm just going to scroll down, pick up some of the best ones. I got a lot of questions about, this is from Creature 96. It said, my question is, why didn't you bring more Microtechs into videos? I know yada yada about legality of it, but I want to hear your opinion of many of their knives, some of which are very well designed with high cutting performance. You can apply this to almost any company that makes mostly automatics. I just reviewed the ProTech. I have reviewed a Microtech SOCOM Elite before, the manual version. It's not even a question of them not being legal for me to carry in New York. I can't get them shipped to me, so that's the problem. If I could get them shipped to me, I would probably still buy some and then, just know I can't legally carry them outside the house just to review them. But I can't even get them shipped to me. It's almost no retailers will send them to me. I got the ProTech because I was there and they handed it to me at Blade Show. I will approach these manufacturers more and see if they'll ship them, but they're not technically supposed to even ship them to me. So it's tough. It's very tough. That's why I have nothing against automatics. I actually do like them quite a bit. I think they're a lot of fun, but just can't do it. Next up, best budget steel, 14C28N or D2NY. That's very specific, but I would say 14C28N is one of my favorite budget steels, so I do like it better than D2. It's easy to sharpen, holds an edge pretty well, not that hard to get heat treated correctly. I think probably, there's just been a lot of companies that have used it really well. It's really good steel. D2 is fine. I'm getting kind of tired of it. I have nothing really against it. It's a bit harder to sharpen, but it's not like a nightmare or anything, and it's not technically corrosion resistant, but living in upstate New York, that's never really been a problem for me. I've never really had any corrosion problems with almost any steel. But yeah, it's I'm just tired. There's so many knives with D2. I'm just kind of tired of it. I like it when companies choose other stuff. Like when Civivi started out with the 9CR18 MOV. I like that steel a lot. That's cool. I was glad they were using it, and now most of the new stuff's all D2. So it's just, I'm just fatigued. I'm tired of it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just bored with it. And somebody commented on a comment one time, said, a year ago, you guys were all excited that stuff was D2. Yeah, we were, because it was better than 8CR13, but now everything's D2, and it's just like, ugh. You get sick of seeing the same stuff all the time. Related question, I guess. This is Matt. Oh, by the way, that question, like I said, was from Creature. The next one, the last one was from Norman's EDC, by the way. This one is from Matt Elness. If you could only buy knives from one steel, what steel would that be? Honestly, S35VN. It's the most reliable steel I've gotten on knives. It's almost always heat treated very well. It's almost always pretty easy to sharpen. I would just say that's the most reliable as far as hit rate. I'd say S35VN. It's fine. It's fairly reasonably priced. I would say S35VN. Ed Garcia asked thoughts on giant mouse knives. Love them. Only reviewed one, but I would like to get more of them. Favorite beer and what characteristics that make it your favorite. My favorite is one that you're probably not gonna be able to get where you are. It's made here in Rochester, Three Heads Brewing, Rochestafarian. It's great. I really like it. It's kind of a malty sort of, but it's good. It's not my usual thing, but I really particularly love that one. I would say what I drink mostly when I'm out at a bar and I can't get like the particular kind of craft brew that I like, Stella Artois. When I'm in Europe, Bitburger. And you can get Bitburger here too, but I mean at bars and stuff on draft, they have it everywhere over there. What, as a reviewer, is the hardest part of what you do, ins and outs of your weekly challenges? It's the hardest part. I guess the hardest part is just at this point now, I get offered to get sent so much stuff, I have to say no to things. And I don't like to review stuff that I know right off the jump I'm not gonna like just from pictures, when I'm just like, I'm gonna hate that, and I don't want to go through the whole thing of doing a horribly negative review and then getting a conflict with somebody or whatever. So I'll just say no to things sometimes. I guess choosing what to say no to. This is Eric J that asked this, by the way. Good question. Yeah, I just don't. Some stuff I just don't want to right away, just because I know this isn't going to be worth it, or I know that you guys aren't going to care about it and it's not going to get a lot of views. I'm not a click chaser exactly, but I'm also not stupid. I don't review stuff that I know is just nobody's going to care about, unless it's something I personally really care about. Those ones are for me. They're not for you. But yeah, I guess that's probably the hardest part. Yeah, just deciding what to do. I know that's kind of a cheesy answer, but yeah, and lighting, editing, that kind of stuff. I didn't know anything about any of that. I knew some about lighting because I've directed some television and stuff, but that's a totally different lighting situation than doing stuff in your office with just the tabletop stuff. Yeah, I would say those are probably my two biggest challenges. Someone asked, still rocking the 0562 tie during the summer, even if it's bigger and heavier. That's from Travis Luce. Yeah, sometimes, not as much. It's just, I just came back from Blade Show, so I got a bunch of new stuff. So I still love the 0562 tie. Gun to my head, probably still favorite knife that I own. Yeah, I just haven't been lately because I got a lot of new stuff. This next one is not only a good question, but a supremely awesome username, and I love it whenever he comments because it's hilarious and it makes me laugh every single time. The username is, this is a pretty long username, why the F would he do that so that everyone would thumbs up it? That great username. That's fantastic. He asked, my question is, what is the biggest hardship you went through in life and how did you overcome it? Absolutely, definitely. My father died 6 years ago, and about a month before my wedding. So and it was not sudden. He was sick for 4 years. He had kidney failure, and it was a freak thing. He was perfectly healthy. Went in for back surgery. CT scan killed his kidneys, and took 4 years. And he was doing. He had some rough patches about 6 months prior to his death, and then he was doing great. And I thought, oh, he was going to be at my wedding and everything. I thought everything was going to be fine. Knew I wasn't going to have him forever. But I thought we had a couple, 3 more years anyway, and then he got pneumonia and passed away quite quickly. He was diagnosed with pneumonia, and he was gone 4 or 5 days later, and I was there at his side. I had to make the call, to say this is enough, and that was terrible. Yeah, he was my hero. I love the guy. He wasn't perfect. He made some odd choices in life, but he was a lot of fun. He was definitely a very fun dad. I mean, he always had airplanes and fast cars, and I think for knife guys to sum up my father's personality, the best thing I can tell you is the first knife I ever owned was a balisong he bought me at a fair. So, yeah, he would sometimes make odd decisions, but amazing dude. Everybody loved him. He was just a fantastic guy, and and how did I overcome it? I don't know if I have. Not really sure I have, to be honest with you. I don't cry about it every day, but I think about it every day, and still pretty hard. Let's find a lighthearted question after that. What's your least favorite? This is True Boolean. What's your least favorite knife you've reviewed? I should have read this one ahead because I'd have to think. Probably the Wee knives. Is it Jix or Sticks? I can't remember which one it was. I've only reviewed one of them. I don't remember the name of the designer now. But not a fan. Didn't understand that one at all. It was just gymtastic for reasons I didn't get, and beautifully made, but oh god, it was bad. And from the looks of it, I was very excited about it, and then maybe it was the disappointment that really made me not like it. And the Benchmade aileron too, another one. I don't understand it. I don't know why it exists. I don't get it. Then he asked some silly questions. How much for the Scott Hot? No, just stop asking me that. It's not for sale. Favorite up-and-coming knife brand? That's a good question. Favorite up-and-coming? So I guess he seems like newer stuff. Well, you gotta say Civivi. I mean, they're killing it. But my personal up-and-coming knife brand, I don't know how to qualify what's up-and-coming. So I guess I'm going to stick with Civivi just because they're putting out some awesome stuff, and quite a bit of it. The only criticism I have with Civivi is slow down a bit. Slow down a bit. You've made enough. Just make those for a while. Let us catch our breath. And then come out with some more new ones. It just seems like every other week they come out with new ones. But most of them are great. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining about nothing. But I wouldn't mind if they just slowed down. Just pump the brake pedal a little bit for my sake. Because you guys love Civivi videos. They get really good hits. And that I always want to make sure to get them and try to get them up first. And, but slow down. Or this is just going to become a Civivi channel. What's my favorite Tuya knife? The Envy, Hive, or Kingsman? Well, I've owned an Envy and I sold it. I kind of missed out on the boat on the Hive. Everybody else had already reviewed it, so I kind of skipped it. But it does seem very nice. I played with the blade show. It does seem really nice. But I do have my Kingsman right here. I just got it back. I loaned it to Nick Shabazz and he reviewed it. But yeah, I love the Kingsman. Definitely Kingsman. Kingsman is awesome. What other stuff, if any, do you collect? I'm a writer, so I collect. I've got, I can't call it collective, I've only got 3, but old typewriters. I do like old typewriters. One of my prized possessions is a 1938 Royal Deluxe that my wife got me. It's a portable typewriter. It weighs 25 freaking pounds, but it's portable. But love that thing. She found it new old stock, and some guy cleaned it up and oiled it, and it looks like brand new, and it was made in 1938, and love it. Love it. Love using it. I love the pace that it makes you type on an old manual typewriter. If you type too fast, the whole thing just gets angry and locks up on you. So I would say typewriters, a little bit toys and stuff, but I don't collect a whole ton of those, but I do get, like, when I think ones are cool, I get those. Yeah, I would say just the typewriters and the action figures is probably about it. Are you into cars? And if so, what car do you own? I already answered that part. And do you have a dream car? That's not the, I skipped something earlier, though. That's not the only, that's what I drive. I do own a 1984 Honda CRX as well. That was my first car. Not this one. I totaled the first one. I went and found another one identical to the one that I used to own. So I have that one. This question is from Kokunkun also, by the way. These names are so fun to say. It currently has some issues. One of the shock towers is rusted out and needs to get welded. So it's currently off the road, but I do still own the 84 CRX. I forget about that because I haven't driven it for like a year. And he said, and do you have a dream car? Do I have a dream car? My dream car would honestly be one that I already owned. My favorite car I ever owned, I had a 1994 Toyota Super Twin Turbo, white, hardtop, black leather, exactly how you want it. Bought it, drove it for 3 years, sold it for the exact price that I bought it for. Thought I made out like a bandit. And now they are worth about 150 grand. So I will never get another one. But I want, if I did get one, I want an unmolested, unmodified. I like to keep stuff stock. My 84 CRX bone stock, every bolt. And I love that about it. Yeah, I would want a stock one. And yeah, I say I like to keep stuff stock. And then I told you I modified my VW. But it's because I don't like it. I modified the Volkswagen because I don't like it. So I was just trying to make myself like it. Next up, if you had a 1,300 bottle of Silent 29, a bottle of Silent 29-year-old bottle of single malt scotch, would you sell it, save it, or drink it? If you have a $1,300 bottle of scotch, would I sell it, save it, or drink it? I'd sell it and buy more knives. Booze, do other stuff. Wrestling question, have you been keeping up on AEW? Yes, I have. I've watched everything so far. Pretty excited about it. It wasn't that crazy about Fyter Fest, but it was all right. How come you still didn't manage to cut yourself on live videos? You sound like the kind which is a bit clumsy. Sean Liu asked that. Well, first of all, screw you. I'd sound clumsy? How does that happen? How does one sound clumsy? I'm a bit clumsy. I'm very coordinated in some things and very much not in others. I don't know how I've managed not to cut myself in a live video. I really don't. I definitely have, and I've had to do retakes because I cut myself, not many times, but a few. Yeah, I've definitely had to do retakes of other videos because I cut my fingers. Yeah, and then my cat adds more scratches to my hand. So yeah, I'm all sick. I have lots of little scars and stuff, but I don't know how I've pulled it off. Sheer luck, I guess. Do you ever have any doubts about your knife collection, or do people ever give you shit for it? Because that happens to me and it's annoying. LOL. Yeah, I said a swear. Sorry. Mike Carroll asked that. Yeah, no, I don't. I get crap from it. I crap about it from other comedians, but we give each other crap about everything. So it's kind of hard to discern, all the other stuff that we mock each other for. And I know a couple of them admitted they give me crap about the Knife Channel because it grew so fast, and I know one of them has told me they're just kind of jealous that it grew that fast. So I get it, yeah, because in comedy there's a million comedy channels. Knife channels, there aren't as many, so it's just a smaller sample size. So of course it's going to grow faster. It's nothing. I don't think I've uncorked anything magical here, any magical recipe for the channel to grow faster. I think it's just that there's a smaller sample size. I really, and a very passionate base. I think that's the only reason it's grown as fast as it has. But no, my wife wasn't too pleased about it at first, but now she sees that I make money from Google, so she's happy now. And yeah, nobody else has really given me a hard time about it. It seems logical, asked a few, so I'm just going to pick one because we're already on 25 minutes here. So What's the most expensive knife you've lost or broke beyond repair? Knock on wood. I've never lost one. I thought I did for quite a while, but I found it. It was in a car, as they always are, and broke. I don't remember. I don't think I've really horribly broken one that I didn't send away and get fixed. And what advice would you give anyone looking to make a knife review channel? This one I really want to answer. Be yourself. Have a personality. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's a lot of knowledge to be learned beforehand about knives and about all design and blade steel and all that kind of stuff, but it's not hard to learn enough to be dangerous. And have a personality. Show it. Don't be afraid to show your personality, unless you're a dick, and then just don't even try, because you're not going to do good. And the other thing is, I think what my niche is I don't get super ultra technical and stuff. I don't give 30-minute reviews and talk about chemical makeups of steel and all kinds of other stuff, just because other people do that better. So stick with what you know you can do well. When I've been reviewing products for 20 years. This started out in bicycles, and then it was cell phones, and still bicycles, and all kinds of stuff, and cars even, and all kinds of techie gadgets. And I always did my reviews of trying to be entertaining, give enough information to give a person an informed decision on whether or not they should buy it. But if you get in, the more technical you get, the fewer people are going to care about it, and the more they're just going to tell you did it wrong. So, for example, in bicycles, I get asked all the time, why don't you use power meters and measure aerodynamics and stuff? I'm like, because 25 people care, and all 25 of those people are going to tell me I was wrong. So why bother? It just isn't. It's just a kind of why bother thing. And other people do it better, like on knives and stuff. Other people do cut tests and all that stuff a hell of a lot better than me. Let them do it. I rely on their knowledge, and I incorporate it into my stuff, but I'm not going to do that. And then lastly, from the YouTubes, what's your favorite knife brand and why? I would have to say Spyderco, and I think it's mostly just for variety. Spyderco makes, this is from D's Knives. They just make such a wide variety. You can always find something from Spyderco that I want. Related, I missed it up above. I know I saw it when I was scrolling by, but I forgot to. So I apologize, I'm not going to say the person's name. Oh, here we go. Scott Bond asked, what's the knife you most regret selling? Related, the Spyderco Shaman. I really wish I hadn't have sold that. Because I got it at the old price, and now if I wanted to get a new one, I got to get it at the new price, which is a lot more. And I'm quite mad at myself about that. Now, last question I'm going to answer, and I honestly thought about just doing this on the page, on the Patreon page. And by the way, go check out Patreon down below if you want to see more content kind of like this. I'm going to do more rambly stuff on there. This will be a rare occasion on here. But a lot of you guys email me about it, and I've been getting asked constantly, what's my opinion on this HRC controversy that's going on? That just got a lot more controversial over the last few days. So, LTK, love them knives, great dude. Started compiling a list, doing HRC tests on knives, testing the hardness of the blade steel compared to what the manufacturers claim. And they found some that were very low. They only found one that was super low, to my knowledge. And they were also testing, is it really on 390 when they claim they claim it is and stuff like that. Most of those came out right. There was a few that weren't, and it'd be who you'd expect. And then it's a huge database. It's a very valuable resource. But some aspects of the knife community, especially one particular knife from Lion Steel, tested extremely low. And people went a bit crazy with it. They went a bit, as I've phrased it, meme-tastic about it. And there was all these knife memes and stuff over Instagram making fun of this company, and it got out of hand really fast. I don't support any of that. I've said before, I don't support taking glee in finding something wrong with something. Report it, tell them it's wrong. But when people just get ecstatic that, yay, I found something wrong, I'm smarter than everybody else, that never sits right with me, even if that's not the way you meant it. And I know all the guys involved in this, and I'm not insulting. I've talked to most of them individually. I'm not going to name names here because I've talked to them most individually, and they're all good dudes. But that's wrong with me. It's always going to. I don't like it. I thought it was childish, and I didn't really like it. And but I did still agree with what LTK was doing. It's a great resource. It's a good thing to keep people honest. But then they were really, really wrong about one. So the lion steel, that all the gleeful memes and stuff, it turns out they were really, really wrong. And LTK has gave a fantastic video apology about it. Just go to his channel and check that out. And he's 100% right. And I agree with everything he said in that video. And I think if you want to know what my thoughts about what they could do differently, he's already said that's what they're going to do. So still no issue with what they're doing. I'm glad they're doing it. I do think a lot of these companies, that just because Bowler says M390 optimal range is 61 to 64, that doesn't mean that they're going to do it that way. It doesn't mean that the manufacturer thinks that's the way it should be. I don't think some of these low HRCs were accidental. Some were, because some they reported an HRC and then it turned out to be lower. But just because M390 isn't 61 to 64, these companies are doing it on purpose sometimes. Like, for example, that Toyota Supra I mentioned earlier, this is an example I gave somebody else, came stock with a claimed 300 horsepower. It was more like 350 for insurance purposes. Back in the 90s, they said 300. But that engine block was more than capable of handling 750 horsepower and probably still being relatively reliable. And for not much money. It wouldn't have cost Toyota anything, hardly at all. It would have cost, add another $500 to the cost of the car, and they could have made it 750 horsepower. But they didn't, because they know that not everyone who buys it isn't going to know what they're doing. And they're going to blow the motor, wreck it, whatever. Really hard HRCs, people who just abuse their knives, you're going to get chipped blades and stuff. They're going to come back for warranty. They don't want to deal with that. So they make it 57, 58. Is that the right decision? That's up to you to decide. And it's very good that LTK is reporting the numbers so that we know that. But just to say, oh, these companies don't know what they're doing. They probably know what they're doing. That was probably a conscious decision. I mean, they have metallurgists on staff. I'm just saying. I guess that's about all I have to say about it. I love LTK. He helped me get this channel started. I will always credit him as being the guy who got me going into this. And I stand by what they're doing. I think it's a great thing if it's done right. They're going to be making some changes, and I think those are good changes. And I think that's going to be great. Or maybe even not make changes. That may be the wrong way to put it. I guess the way they normally do stuff didn't happen with that one knife, and it kind of bit them in the ass. But yeah, I feel bad for everybody involved. It got so out of hand so quick, but chill out with the memes, guys. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping a soul. It's not getting you views. It's not getting. It's just not. It's the only attention you're getting is negative. But if you want to do it, do it. I'm not your daddy, but that's my opinion on it. You won't be seeing that kind of stuff from me. I've made a couple memes from time to time, but not that bad. There's a way to do it and be funny without just being egregious and over the top. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this 33 minutes of Ask Me Anything. Really good questions. Probably some answers can get me in trouble, but we'll see, especially that last one. But we'll see what happens. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.